All right, so you're here because you want the inside scoop, right? You want to know what's up with this Minecraft movie everyone's talking about, but you don't have time to wade through a ton of articles and reviews.
That's where we come in.
Exactly. We've done the digging for you.
We've got a mountain of info here. Everything from like the basic premise to what critics are saying, even some early box office buzz.
And you want us to break it down, give you the need-to-know stuff before you decide if you're going to spend your hard-earned cash on a ticket.
Basically, you want the cheat sheet to a Minecraft movie.
Precisely.
No problem. We can handle that.
Let's do it. So first things first, this movie, it's based on the game, Minecraft, obviously.
Huge, huge cultural phenomenon.
I mean, who hasn't at least heard of Minecraft at this point, right?
Right. But the thing is, Minecraft, the game, it's all about like open-ended creativity. You build whatever you want, you explore. There's no real set story.
So how do you turn that into a movie? That's what we're going to find out.
With a little movie magic, I guess.
From what we've gathered, the movie's about these four ordinary people who get, like, sucked into the world of Minecraft.
Imagine 1 minute you're just going about your day. The next you're surrounded by like blocky trees and pixelated sheep.
Yeah, it's that whole blocky aesthetic, everything made of cubes.
And they have to figure out how to survive, how to use the resources around them, just like you do in the game.
So crafting is a big part of it.
Oh, absolutely. They got to mine materials, build shelter, the Minecraft basics.
But they're not totally on their own, right? There's this character, Steve, who's like a Minecraft expert.
Yeah, he's the one who knows the ropes, the guy who can help them navigate this crazy world.
And get this, Steve is played by Jack Black.
Perfect casting, right?
I mean, you can already picture him, can't you?
Total comedic genius.
But also, like, surprisingly believable as a crafty survivalist type.
Oh, definitely. Jack Black can pull off pretty much anything.
And speaking of casting, we've got Jason Momoa playing a character called Garbage Man.
Garbage Man, what a name.
Right. Makes you wonder what his deal is.
Yeah, is he like literally a garbage man who gets transported?
Or is it like a nickname because he's tough and kind of rough around the edges?
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
The descriptions we've seen say he's a brute with a good heart, which, that's classic Momoa.
Yeah, he's got that whole tough guy exterior, but deep down he's a softie.
Exactly. And then there's Jennifer Coolidge playing Vice Principal Marlene.
Oh, I love her.
She's hilarious.
But it seems like her character's not actually in the Minecraft world, at least not at first.
She's got her own thing going on in the real world, which is an interesting choice.
Yeah, like what's her connection to the main plot? How do those two worlds collide?
Lots of questions there.
And the guy in charge of answering those questions, the director, is Jared Hess.
Now, if you don't know Jared Hess, he's known for these really quirky comedies.
Napoleon Dynamite, Nacho Libre. Those are some of his big ones.
So we're expecting some offbeat humor, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
A lot of visual gags, awkward situations, maybe a bit of dry wit thrown in there.
Which could work really well with the whole Minecraft setting because it's already kind of a strange, surreal world.
Exactly. But some early reviews have said that the humor feels a bit forced at times.
Yeah, like they're trying too hard to be funny instead of letting the humor come naturally from the situation.
And a few reviewers even mentioned that the characters feel kind of underdeveloped.
Like they're not really fleshed out, they're just kind of there to deliver the jokes.
Which is a shame because with actors like Momoa and Black, they could bring a lot of depth to their roles.
Right, they're not just comedic actors, they can do drama too.
So hopefully that's something they address in the final cut of the film.
Now let's talk visuals. One of the biggest challenges with adapting Minecraft has to be like, how do you make those blocky graphics look good on the big screen?
I mean, it's a very distinctive style, but it's also very, very simple.
Yeah, everything's just squares and rectangles.
But from what we've heard, they've done a really impressive job of bringing the Minecraft world to life.
They've stayed true to the blocky aesthetic, but they've also added some cinematic flair,
Like the lighting is really dynamic, and they've used some interesting camera angles to give the scenes more depth.
And they've even incorporated some of the game's physics into the action sequences.
Like imagine a minecart chase scene, but with all the jerky movements and sudden stops that you get in the game.
That could be really cool.
And the environments are supposed to be super detailed. Like they've really gone all out with the textures and the little detail.
It's not just a bunch of flat, boring blocks.
No, it actually sounds visually stunning.
And the tone, what's the overall vibe of the movie?
From what we've gathered, it's definitely family friendly.
So think adventure, humor, some heartwarming moments, maybe a little bit of action.
But like we mentioned earlier, the humor is a bit hit or miss, depending on who you ask.
Yeah, some people love it, some people find it annoying.
And the pacing has been described as a bit uneven.
Like, it starts off strong, then kind of meanders in the middle, and then picks up again towards the end.
Which, that can happen with video game adaptations. They're trying to cram so much into a 2-hour movie.
Right, they're trying to hit all the major beats, all the iconic locations.
But sometimes it feels like they're just checking boxes instead of telling a cohesive story.
And what about the themes? Minecraft is a game about creativity, exploration, building things, overcoming challenges. Are those themes present in the movie?
They are, but some reviewers have said that they feel a bit underdeveloped.
Like they're there on the surface, but they're not really explored in any meaningful way.
Which is a shame because those themes could really resonate with audiences,
Yeah.
especially younger viewers.
Yeah, Minecraft is a game that can teach you a lot about problem solving, resourcefulness, perseverance.
It would be great if the movie could tap into that a bit more.
Now, let's talk about the whole fan versus newcomer thing. Because you've got people who are diehard Minecraft fans who've been playing the game for years.
And then you've got people who've never even touched the game, who are just going to the movie because, it's a big summer blockbuster.
So how do you make a movie that appeals to both groups?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
From what we've seen, they've tried to strike a balance by including a lot of little Easter eggs for the fans.
Like you might see a creeper lurking in the background, or hear the familiar sound of a villager.
Or they might show a crafting recipe that players will instantly recognize.
But at the same time, the core story is supposed to be accessible even to people who don't know anything about Minecraft.
It's basically a fish out of water story about these people who are thrown into a strange new world and have to figure out how to survive.
That's a concept that anyone can relate to, whether you're a gamer or not.
All right, so we've talked about the plot, the characters, the visuals, the tone.
Now, the big question, is it any good?
What are the critics saying?
Well, the reviews are kind of mixed, to be honest.
Not a total disaster, but not a universal masterpiece either.
Exactly.
A lot of critics have praised the visuals, which we already talked about.
They say it's a really faithful adaptation of the game's aesthetic, but also very cinematic and impressive to look at.
And the performances from Momoa and Black are getting a lot of positive attention.
Their chemistry is supposed to be really great. They bring a lot of humor and energy to the film.
But the main criticisms seem to be around the story and the characters.
Some reviewers felt like the plot was too thin, that it didn't really have much depth.
And they felt like the characters weren't fully developed, that they were just kind of there to move the plot along.
And as we mentioned before, the humor hasn't landed for everyone.
Yeah, some critics found it forced or out of place.
And there's also this feeling that the movie doesn't quite capture the spirit of Minecraft.
Like, the game is all about creativity and freedom, but the movie feels a bit more structured and predictable.
So some fans might be disappointed that it doesn't really let them explore and create in the same way that the game does.
And what about the scores on Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic?
Yeah, they're kind of middle of the road, reflecting the mixed reactions.
So, not a critical darling, but not a total bomb either.
It's one of those movies that's probably going to divide audiences.
Okay, so we've talked about the critical reception,
But what about the most important thing?
the box office.
Because at the end of the day, Hollywood is a business.
They want to make money.
So will a Minecraft movie be a hit?
It's hard to say for sure, but it definitely has the potential to be huge.
I mean, Minecraft is a global phenomenon. There are millions of fans out there.
And the casting is really strong. Momoa and Black are big draws.
Plus, it's a family-friendly movie, so it's got a wide appeal.
But on the other hand, video game adaptations have a bit of a mixed track record.
Some of them have been great, some of them have been terrible.
So it's really a wait-and-see situation.
We'll have to see how audiences react, how word of mouth spreads.
But one thing's for sure, people are talking about this movie.
It's generating a lot of buzz.
So, to sum up, what are the key strengths and weaknesses of a Minecraft movie?
Well, on the plus side, the visuals are impressive, the casting is great, and it's got a broad appeal.
But on the downside, the story and characters might feel a bit thin, the humor is divisive, and it might not fully capture the magic of the game.
So it's a bit of a mixed bag.
Exactly.
But ultimately, whether you enjoy it or not is going to come down to your personal preferences.
Are you a Minecraft fan?
Do you like Jared Hess's style of humor?
Are you looking for a deep, thought-provoking film?
Or are you just looking for some fun, lighthearted entertainment?
Once you answer those questions, you'll have a better idea of whether this movie is for you.
And that's what this deep dive is all about, giving you the information you need to make an informed decision.
So there you have it, folks, our take on a Minecraft movie.
We hope you found it helpful.
And if you did, be sure to check out our other deep dives on all sorts of topics.
We're always digging into something new and interesting.
So until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep playing Minecraft.
Maybe we'll see you in the overworld sometime.
That's right. And maybe, just maybe, we'll bump into Jason Momoa and Jack Black while we're there.
Now, that would be a story for the ages.
All right. That's it for us. Thanks for listening.
See you next time.
Bye.